Today, again, we will study the Bhagavatam, and very interesting the questions that the Rishis are asking to the Shuta. So we will discuss about that. Let us begin with the beautiful sloka. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghabarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Vidyanagamyam Bande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanathan. The Lord of all the lokas. Hindus, they believe that there are different spheres out there. So I think in the next week, coming week, we will go and we'll have a meeting. Every month they are organizing beautifully one church and the synagogue together, describing the different topics from the viewpoint of different religions. This time the discussion will be what happens after I die. But the topic is little difficult to answer because I am not dead, so how can I say what will happen after my death? But we can gaze, we can discuss from the point of view of the scriptures. Now the loka means different spheres, different stages, and they go in that. Now the different type of people, the mentality in the world, when you see same type of thoughts, the people they are thinking in the same way, they all club together, they become friends. So similarly, after our death, our mind, which is also thinking in the same way, what is there? Only body and the mind. Body is not doing anything. It's just a machine. It's doing the mind only. And the mind is nothing but the thoughts. And according to the thoughts, it guides us, takes us to that sphere. Sphere means that place where I get my friends. Now, if you bring your young, maybe your children, they don't like this atmosphere. They will be here and all the time asking when you are leaving, when you will go. But if you allow them to go out, there are some friends, they will be playing over there, and they will be so happy. And you don't get joy over there when children are playing. You don't join in that. So you come back, you sit in this, quietly meditating, listening, pondering. So spheres. Mind in different spheres. Sarvalokaikanathan. He is the master in every spheres, different type of spheres. And who is that? Vishnu. And his akara, quiet. Anything that comes up, anything that we discover in quietness, calmness. So that is very, very important. Majority of the time we are in that so much of sound. The people are going on listening, all that music, tremendous sounds. And constantly they are going on doing that and slowly, slowly losing the calmness of the mind. And that's why they can't sleep. They can't think properly. No original thoughts are coming up. Meditation is very, very essential. So it says, Shantakaram Bhujaga Shayanam. What is that Bhujaga? That means the snake, that is meditation. Symbol of meditation, Bhuja, the snake. This is a symbol of meditation because the primal power travels in our body as a snake. So that is Bhujagashayanam, Padmanabham Suresham. The Sura means the god, Isha means the master or the lord of the gods. And he is holding the whole universe. Vishwadharam. Adhara means container. Containing what? Vishwa. Each and everything. Vishwadharam. Exactly that thing we will discuss. Gagana Sadrisham. He is all pervading. Gagana means the sky, all pervading. Meghavarnam Shubhangam. Why Meghavarna? It's like the black cloud. Why? Because we are not complete about his knowledge. We do not know exactly. This much we can infer, we can imagine. But it is far, far beyond. So, his body as if the color of the cloud. Lakshmi Kantam, he is the source of all prosperity. So Lakshmi is the goddess, as the Hindu they consider, of the wealth. And he, the Lord, who is containing the whole universe and who is everywhere, all pervading, is the master of that prosperity also. So Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam, having a benign look, constantly he is looking. He is so happy to see his own creation. Yogi Vidhyanagamyam. How could you describe him? And the description that you were giving about the God, how could you do that? Because it is not possible to see like this. But the yogis who have controlled their senses, in their calm and quiet mind, they see the reflection of that God. So from there they have described this. That we bande, we all celebrate or offer our respect. Vishnum, again the word Vishnu means all pervading one. And from the Vishnu all this, why? All pervading and the only one. What happens? Bhava Bhaya Haram, the fear of death and fear of birth and fear of living in this world in different situations, all are gone. So you know that you are eternal, so there will be no fear. Bhava Bhaya Haram Sarva Lokaika Natam. After this, we have already studied the beginning of the great scripture Bhagavatam, and today we will read the first sloka, very fast sloka, and from there we will go to other discussions. And this Bhagavata, it says, Janmadi Asya Yataha. So look at this Indian scripture all the time is trying to give us the idea how the world was created. Otherwise, the problem is, if we are not concerned about the creation, if we are not very much clear about the idea how the creation came, so obviously we will think, why should we try? Now the scientists, they are once again trying to understand the Big Bang theory. If there is a Big Bang, what happens? What are the things, how the things are changing? Particles are changing, atoms are changing. So that they are trying to study. Why? If they can reach to that, they can get the answer to many, many questions. In the spiritual life also, everywhere the scripture begins with that, and they say, Janmadi Asya Yataha. The very first sloka is very, very important of the Bhagavata. Annayat itarata cha arteshu ya abhishnaha swarat. Every word that has been used very thoughtfully. Why? This is Indian scripture. If you write anything, immediately other people will come and say, why you are mentioning like this, why it is not like this, why it is not that. We will see one or two examples, how critical they are. It is not so easy. So one who is composing not from the intellect but from the realization, and person like Vedavyasa who composed this great scripture, he is not making any mistake. He is mentioning Janmadi Asya Yataha, from whom the creation, sustenance and the dissolution take place. He who is both the material and instrumental cause, Annayat Itaratacha Arteshuya Avishnu Sarat. He who is omniscient, who is the only one having self-mastery, Swarat. We will come to this point, why Vedavyasa using this word, Swarat. This is very important. Otherwise, you won't be able to explain why should we meditate on the God who has created this world. Being one independent entity who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation. This is also a very important part of the sloka. This also questions will raise on that. Whose wisdom is the wonder even the greatest of sages. The sages are great exponents. They reveal within their hearts so many different knowledges. Even then, they cannot imagine the way the creation was done. In whom the worlds of manifestation of three gunas subsist in reality without affecting him. Now this is, I like to repeat, all things happen through the gunas. That's the Hindu belief. What are the gunas? Sattva, Raja, Tama. Please remember, we never say that God is creating and just you believe that. No. How the creation is coming? What we do? We examine ourselves. We find what is there within us. Because we are the created being. Suppose you examine a sweet, you can go back to the root and can say of which it has been made, either from milk or from other things, how it has come. So similarly, the product that when we are researching within ourselves, we come out with three gunas, qualities. Guna means qualities. Don't be confused with the Sanskrit terminologies. They always give wonderful terminology and confuses us. So, the gunas means qualities. What are the qualities? Sattva, Raja and Tama, another three names. What is Sattva? All good things. Your love, your affection, your selfless service and your concern for others, where from it comes? At the same time, in your mind, there is other things like anger, jealousy, hatred. All these things are there. So, in the same mind, how can you get different type of exactly opposite type of qualities? As if the light and the darkness together. How it is possible? A man who is so good to his wife, to his children, to his relatives, same man. Maybe a mercenary, his job is killing. He will be hired by someone, he will go and kill. Whom he is killing, he doesn't never thinks. He gets money, so he kills. Same man. How can he do it? So that is the question. The same man having love, affection, all good qualities, and same man is having other qualities also, bad qualities also. So we wonder how the man changes. And third type of qualities we see, lethargy. He won't listen, he won't do anything, constantly lying down or drinking, a terrible people. So they are wasting their own life and also creating problem in the society where they are living. So Sattva, Raja and Tama. So they identified, Hindus, they identified these three qualities. And they say the best qualities are termed as Sattva. Second, the Raja. And third, the Tama. Now, these three qualities are in one person. And sometimes the Tama is coming up, oh, it is Friday evening. I am not going to get up in the Saturday morning, don't disturb me. So they will hang a block, don't disturb. And he will sleep up to the Saturday evening. Then he will say, oh, Saturday evening is over, next it is Sunday, I have to go to the office again. So again, energy. He will jump up and he will go run to market, purchase things, cleaning things, and energy. That is Raja. The first was the Tama, second came the Raja, and third, when he goes to the office, it is maybe he is a professor, maybe he is a doctor, maybe he is a judge. He has to be quiet, calm, composed, taking decisions. The judge taking a wrong decision means a terrible thing happens to not only the person, but to the whole family. So that way, Raja, Tama, Sattva, again and again, is going on up and down. Here it says the gunas, where from it comes? From the God. The moment the gunas are there, he is supposed to be affected? No. This is the thing. God, the Creator, is giving those gunas and giving to His creation so that they can act in this way. Otherwise, if it is everything is sattva, all people are good, that will be boring to some extent. There should be North Korea, there should be this and that, then only excitement. Otherwise, what the newspaper people are going to do? There should be bad people, then only. And in the movies also you will see there will be a good people, heroes, and at the same time villains. If the villains are not there, who is going to observe that movie? No one. So bad and good and in between is all necessary. Otherwise, what is the joy in the creation? So God knew it and He put it all these things, but He Himself is not affected. So that it is telling, He Himself is not affected. Just as the combination of the material elements like the fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose light of consciousness there is no place of anything false, in whose light of consciousness there is no chance to stay anything false, which was not there, suddenly coming up. No, it is not there. So that truth, when the Hindus they call Satyam, means the truth, and that is the truth, Param, supreme. They always use this word Param. Why? Because this is a supreme. You cannot think beyond this, above this, extra. No. That is the ultimate. This is the truth. What should we do? Dhimahi. We should meditate on that. In the first, the sloka, only 2-3 lines. And there beautifully it is mentioning all these things. Now, if we go, inspired by the Narada, the great Vedavyasa, starts writing about the divine life of Krishna. But Vyasa begins with Janmadi, the creation of this universe. He is writing to Krishna, a personal God. But he is describing, here he says, Vyasa and his disciples, they are meditating on the truth, Satyam Param Dhimahi. There is a plural. So why plural? Because Vyasa is alone? No. His disciples are also there. So they have used the word plural, Dhimahi. Satyam, that is the truth, as we described. Param, the supreme, Dhimahi. Param means Parameshwara. Param, again supreme, Ishvara, the God. The supreme God, supreme truth of the universal truth, that we are meditating. So he is describing, going to describe, give the complete description. The 10th chapter, the whole chapter is dedicated to describe the life of Sri Krishna. And it is 18 chapters. Of the 10th chapter only is giving the life of Sri Krishna, or others, 17 chapters, the description of so many other things. The lives of different kings and the situation, the people, so many one after another. If you can read the book with the stories, the problem is in English they have not given word for word meaning. That's why it is difficult to read. But it's just like a story book. If you read the story connecting one after another, one after another, one after another, if you start reading, you won't be able to stop. Whole night you have to read. The so interesting way they are going on telling. So this is Satyam Param Dhimahi. I meditate on the supreme truth. But Vyasa, you are going to describe about Sri Krishna. Why you then started with the supreme truth? To explain this particular verse, the Sridhar Swami, is a great exponent of this. He is analyzing this. And because there is not exactly, nothing has been said, Vyasa has opened the scope for everyone. Those who know the Sanskrit, particularly Sanskrit grammar, and they will be changing the root and Annaya this way and giving different meaning. So each and every one writing explanations on this sloka in their own way. We will be following Sridhar Swami, a great name in the Vedantic world. And he is following Shankaracharya and others, this following in this way. So he is telling, Sridhar Swami is telling, Janmadi is a tatastha lakshana. Now, friends, you have to be a little bit attentive to understand. You have to prove that there is something truth which never changes. Unchanging one. It is the only consciousness, but it is creating. Which is not changing, how can it create? That's the obvious thing. Now from the milk, you are creating yogurt, it is changing. The milk remaining as it is and also giving you the yogurt, is it possible? That will be very funny. People, they say, now I have a bucket full of milk and every day I prepare the yogurt out of it. Again, the milk is there, no problem. I don't think it is possible. Things will change. So, O Vyasa, when you are telling that Supreme has created this universe, that means he has also changed. How you will explain it? So the Sridhar Swami is telling, we are explanation from two different point of view. One is tatastha lakshana, tatastha, that is the word. Quality is that specific the object. By separating from others, I am telling something that separates others and that makes them like this. Suppose the last year when two of the disciples, they went to visit India along with me, then I was telling they are Americans. Immediately they are separated from the whole of Indian communities. They are Americans first. Second, they were two. Then I told, this lady knows very good yoga. She will teach you all yogas in the morning. I separated her. The two Americans were there. Now I separated one from the other. How? Quality. This gentleman is not having the quality of giving that training. This lady is having. So that is called tatastha lakshana. Qualities that is separating the object from others. But another thing is necessary. That quality is not attached to the object. That quality is not attached to the object. How it is? Now, the Supreme God is the creator, sustainer, and destroyer of the universe. No one else can do this type of work. No one else is having these qualities. But these creation, sustenance and destruction, these qualities are not sticking, retaining with that object, the God. So this is called tatastha lakshana. Ta-ta-stha. So this is the lakshana, this is the symbol by which we can understand this is God. How? He is the creator, sustainer and destroyer. No one else can do. So immediately from the whole universe, it is separated. We can immediately understand that, see that, concentrate on that. But if those qualities, which is Sattva, Raja and Tama, creation, sustenance and destruction, if it sticks with the God, then it is temporary. It cannot be. So they say it is the tatastha lakshana, and tatastha lakshana, the symbol is it separates, and those qualities also get separated from the object. So this is called tatastha lakshana. And there is another system that's called Swarupa Lakshana. What is the Swarupa Lakshana? Qualities that separate the object, but at the same time, it is always sticking with the object. It's not getting separated. Those qualities separating the object from others, at the same time, those qualities are with the object. How? Now, he is a singer. The moment you say that John is a very good singer, what happens? John is separated from the whole mass. But his singing capacity remains with him. It is not separated. If that is separated, then he is not a singer at all. So singer, that quality remains with the John. At the same time, the moment you say he is a singer, it is separating from the mass. Similarly, when we say the God is Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa, and this quality Sat, eternal, Chit, knowledge, Ananda, bliss, these three qualities no one else is having, only God is having. So God is separated from the others. And then these qualities are not leaving the God, they are with God. Satchidananda. But the creator, sustainer and destroyer, these three qualities are not retaining with the God. They are separate from the God. We will see who is creating, that question will come. Now, this is whenever we are studying, say only 2 lines of the sloka. Now, so much of discussion. And that too, I have only summarized. Every word has been analyzed, so it is so difficult. Whole life will go if you study properly with one scripture, Bhagavatam. So that's why I have summarized it. And second it comes, who is Krishna? Because you are supposed to tell us about the Krishna. They say he is a supreme truth, Brahman, about which Veda has mentioned. Vyasa indirectly says Krishna is the supreme truth. Why? From him everything is coming up. I am giving the name the Krishna. Why? He will take a human form. So nama, rupa is necessary. Name and form is necessary when it is a human. Otherwise, how can you identify? Just say truth, it won't do. The Krishna is a person, personality. So he will take birth, he will have father, mother, family, and so many varieties of things. We need that name and form. I give the name Krishna. And who is actually Krishna? He is the supreme truth. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, see, without the Upanishad, no other scripture can stand. If I say something which is not supported by the Veda, which is Upanishad, no one will take it. That's why Swami Vivekananda told every sentences of Sri Ramakrishna can be explained by quoting hundreds of the Upanishadic words. Jhudi jhudi darshan lekha jai, in Bengali he say. Jhudi jhudi, a basket full of so much of explanation can be given. So this is Yatoba imani bhutani jayante. Who is Krishna? He is the Brahman. Who is that Brahman? From where everything has taken birth, taken shape. Yatoba, from where? Yato, from where? Imani, this. Bhutani, the beings. Jayante, is taking the life, becoming, living. Then, ena jatani jivanti. After taking birth, they are sustaining. If there is no air, if there is no oxygen, we cannot sustain. So the God who has created these, immediately has created this oxygen also. Otherwise, how he will survive? The food has been already given. Otherwise, how can he survive? So all these things have been taken care. Ena jatani jivanti. So one gentleman has written very nicely. He told someone got an accident, met an accident. He went to the hospital. He was kept in that emergency. Oxygen was given, etc., etc. So after everything, when he was all right, the bill came from the hospital side. What are the charges? No, nothing. The doctors are free, medicines are free. But only you have to pay for the oxygen charges. How much? It is because for the 3 days you took the oxygen, it is $500. So he said, $500 for the three days only. And immediately it flashed in his mind, oh my God, I am going on breathing all through my life without paying anything. And now here, as because the human being has given me oxygen, God gave me oxygen, I never cared about it, never thought about it, never said thanks to God also for that life that he gave, oxygen. Suppose God also charges every 3 days $500, what will happen to me? So that we do not calculate how much God has given to us. Ena jatani jivanti. After being born, we are surviving because of the God. And again, at the time of dissolution, merge in it. Yat prayanta abhisambhishanti. So this goes. Vyasa also indicated that the same truth has taken human form. But how to prove? So through Sarupa Lakshana. So we know not Sarupa. What is the Sarupa Lakshana? The God has taken the human form, Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa. What is Sat? Eternal. He is eternal. He is full of knowledge and full of joy. Whoever goes to him gets the joy. So that is why that is called Janmadasya, explaining. Vyasa has used another word, Annayadi Itarata. Annaya, now it was two, Tatastha Lakshana, Sarupa Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana, those qualities which is separating the object from others, but at the same time, they are not sticking to the object. They are also getting separated. And Sarupa Lakshana, qualities separating the object from others, but sticking with that, continuing with that. This is one type of system of proving. Second, it comes, Annaya means plus, iti, sometimes in Sanskrit called iti, or Annaya, it is plus, positive. And Itarata means minus, neti, negative. So iti, neti, positive, negative. So that is the way Annayadi Itarata, that word has been used in this 2-line verse. There is nothing but the Brahman, all pervading, hence it is the cause of the creation. A simple way. So nothing was there, Only Brahman was there. Now, it has been, so many things have come. So that means God has created it, or that which was living has created. So it's called iti. One person was in the house and nobody was there. Now the wife came back, opened the freeze and saw half of the food has gone. There was no one visited. But the husband told, no, I was only sitting over here and looking at TV. I didn't eat. The wife won't listen to that because it is proved. You are only alone in this house. And the rats and the cats cannot enter into the freeze. Only human being can open the freeze, and you are the only human being staying here. So you have eaten so many things. So it is proved like that. Similarly, it's called iti. How to prove iti? You are the only one, and from here that creation came, that means you have created. At the same time, if you create, at the time of creation, there will be many other things that you cannot do. So that is neti, negative. How the creation happened. Now the last, how the creation happened. We are telling the Brahman cannot create. Because in the creation you need the quality, Sattva, Rajatama. So who created? Then it says, Pradhana, Adda Prakriti. Prakriti or the Pradhana, same thing, two different names. Prakriti we can translate as nature, and Pradhana the main. So Pradhana or the Prakriti has created. Okay. If the Pradhana or the Prakriti has created, then shall we meditate on that? Because you are asking from which everything has come, everything has been created. Meditate on that. Let us meditate on that. Now you say Brahman has not created, Prakriti has created. So shall we meditate on Prakriti? This is the question. Then the reply is no, because Veda, it is clearly telling the source of the creation is Jnanavana. He must be having the conscious being, otherwise he cannot create. Prakriti is not conscious being. But to creation, for the creation, you need a conscious being. Otherwise, from the wood, another wood cannot come. It is not possible. So obviously, we need a carpenter to have, maybe we want it separated, make it two. Carpenter is necessary. Carpenter is living. Carpenter is having the consciousness. So when the Prakriti is creating, the Prakriti cannot create itself. Why? It is not consciousness. Ashabda, Pradhan or Prakriti cannot ikshatena, means it is not conscious, it cannot see. It is a ikshata. Ikshata means can see. No, it cannot see. Again, in one place in Brahma Sutra it says, Ikshate na ashabdam. Ashabdam means Prakriti. Ashabdam means the jada. Ashabdam means the pradhana. So terminology again. So many terminologies. So like the doctors, they'll be having same medicine, so many names. And you have to go on keeping those things. Otherwise it's very difficult. So here also in the Vedanta, you have to keep in mind, sometimes it is ashabda, sometimes it is pradhana, sometimes it is Prakriti, but the meaning is same. Prakriti cannot create. Why? It is not living being. So it is not possible. Another objection comes. Okay, if you say a living being can only create, an individual soul, a jiva, it is a living being. It is thinking, it is creating, it is moving. Can jiva create the whole universe? This is another question. The individual soul is also conscious. We call it jiva. Then say, no, jiva also cannot. Why? Only living won't do. You need the knowledge to create. To knowledge is also necessary. Prakriti cannot create because it is not living. Then the jiva which is living, can it create? No. Only living won't do. It needs the knowledge. And what type of knowledge? Original knowledge. Sata Siddhya Jnanam. Sata means original. Now I am explaining to you all this Bhagavata. I didn't meditate on it. I have collected from different books. Yesterday up to 2 o'clock, after coming back from the Pittsburgh, we reached over here at 12 o'clock. And then we sat with the book because I knew I have to explain it to you. And then, perhaps, because of I was so happy that still 1 hour time is there. Then someone rang me and told, just to remind you, from today, there's a 1 hour you have to add. If it is 9:30, that means it's 10:30. I jumped up. Oh my God, it's 10:30. So that way it always goes. So naturally, I am not having the original knowledge. The jiva is not having the original knowledge. Sata jnana. That's called swarat. In the same sloka, if you read, at least this first sloka you should read. Breaking small that words. Sata swarat. Sata siddhya jnanavana. Swarat means is swarat. Swarat means one who is having original knowledge. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was talking so wonderfully. And in those days, Master Mahashaya, who was MA from Calcutta University, in those days, MA means you can imagine, he was very highly qualified person. He went and he was charmed to listening to Sri Ramakrishna. A villager only, even the pronunciation were not very correct. And now and then he used to use very rustic words which the very refined people do not use. So that way, Sri Ramakrishna was talking, but Master Mahashaya, a highly qualified person, he was very much impressed. Then evening he came and he was inquiring about the person. There was a maid and her name was Brinde. The Master Mahashaya asked Brinde, the gentleman who lives inside the room, does he read a lot? Brinde, the maid, she said, books? There is no book in his room. And then she said, I don't know whether knowingly or unknowingly, she said, everything on his lip. All knowledge that you see, all the words that you hear, on his lip. Swarat, original knowledge. You don't need to read anything. So that is called the Sarat. Sata Siddhya Jnanavana. As a last argument now, it said the scriptures narrating Brahma as the creator. Should we then meditate on Brahma? Not Brahman, it is Brahma. Brahman means all pervading consciousness. And Brahma means that mythological God who is supposed to create. He has been given the responsibility for creation. In the Hindu, the pantheon it is there, the Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. And Brahma is the creator. That's why he is having the 4 heads, all symbolic. And he is red, color is red. Why 4 heads? Knowledge, jnana. All the 4 Vedas, it is there. And he is very active, so red. The Vishnu, who is sustaining, administrator. And Shiva, he is withdrawing, so meditative. Is white. His complexion is white. So Brahma, shall you meditate on Brahma because Brahma is creating? This is the last question and the answer is no. Because Tene Brahma Hridaya cha Adi Kavaye Muihanti Yat Surayaha, that he, the God Supreme, placed all the knowledge of the Veda in the hearts of Brahma. Brahma was not having the original knowledge. It was placed in the heart of the Brahma. And that's why Veda, the original knowledge, it was placed in the hearts of the Rishis. Though the Rishis said it, noted it, but it is not the original knowledge of the Rishis. So it is said the Veda apaurushaya. Why apaurushaya? Paurusha means the human being. It is not made of the human being. Why? The human being only telling, human being only noting, and you say that it is not human being? Because in the subtle stage, if you go, that knowledge came from the original one, whom we cannot say anything but Brahman, all-pervading consciousness without any form. That is the repository of all knowledge. From it, it has come to me, and then only I am telling. So I cannot take the credit of this knowledge. Hence, all the Vedas are apaurushaya, and here is the original. Now we have seen the Tatastha and Sharupa Lakshana. Through that it has been explained. Then Annvaya and Itara, arthat iti and neti, that's also explained. Then Satasiddha Jnanavan, through that also it has been explained. No one else but the Supreme Truth has created. So we have to meditate on the Supreme Truth. But how? We do not know how to meditate on the Supreme Truth. Something must be there before us so that we can imagine. Now the Omkara has been given as a symbol of the Vedanta. Is the Omkara is the Veda? Omkara is the Brahman? No. A symbol has been given so that you can imagine what is the Omkara. All the national flags of the countries, nations, that gives the symbol of that particular nation. American national flag is having the stars and the stripes. It tells the story of the whole America. You cannot write the whole story of America over there. So it's a symbol only it has been given. And the moment you are applying for the American passport, you have to remember those. Otherwise, you won't get. And if you say, how many stars were there? Maybe 30, 40, 50, what was there? Was cancelled, go. So like that, you have to understand how many stars are there and what's the meaning of the stars. How many strips are there and the meaning of the strips. And that gives the whole history of the America. Can you imagine? The person who thought that way to represent the whole vast American history only in one symbol. Same way, we are really, really grateful to the person who thought of the Omkara. Just from the Omkara, the whole imagination of the Brahman, A-U-Ma, Om. And this Omkara, without the support of anything, it is coming out. Some people say, no, we use the lips. No. If you try to pronounce oh, like this it is going on. Oh, you are not using any of your lip or the tongue or anything. It's just coming out. Oh. So that way, Brahman Satasiddha, nothing has created it. It is already there. And it is creating. So this way it says, now anyway, now it is all right. Now we entered into the story. And our topic of today was 5 questions of the Rishis, right? So now the last 5 questions. What are that? Who are the Rishis? Shaunaka. Shaunaka is a very famous Rishi in the Veda. And he and many, many other Rishis, they went to a place called Naimisharanya. It's in the Madhya Pradesh, in one of the states of India. They say it was in the Madhya Pradesh. It's big, the jungle. Why that particular place they went? 2 things. One, all over India, death approached almost every household, every family after the great Mahabharata war. The whole India lost their valors, they are heroes, almost everyone. Right from the eastern part up to the west, north and south, from everywhere, people went and joined in that war, and they were killed in millions, thousands. So obviously, frustration was everywhere. Insecurity was everywhere. In the meantime, Krishna passed away. The Lord Krishna was the hope of the people. Krishna will protect us. He also passed away. And along with the Krishna, Jadu Vangsha, they were all very powerful people, so heroes. But some way, they developed tremendous ego. We are the best people. Like that, they started thinking. In the Second World War, the German also, it was projected to them, you are the best people, you are the best people. And that entered into their mind and they started hating everyone. And then afterwards, everything broke for them too. So the ego destroys. Yodu Vangsha, they also became very, very powerful and egoistic, and they started killing each other, and that way the whole Yadu Vangsha was abolished. Krishna no more. Arjuna lost his valor. He could not lift his own weapon. And the Pandavas finally decided to quit everything and go for the final march. So they started leaving the kingdom in the hand of the only descendant of the Pandavas and the Kauravas. So big family, only one person was left, and that is Parikshita. And this Parikshita, they give, now you start ruling, we are all leaving. So Pandava and their wife and they all started marching towards the Himalaya. And they used to go, they say the Swarga. Actually, they used to go walking inside the snow, and slowly they will die. That way, they give up their life. Everyone was ready to give up. Then who will keep this India united and with the two things? That is the development of the spirituality and development of the worldly things. It is necessary for other people who are surviving. So the Rishis, Saunaka, and a few thousands along with him, they all went over there to do meditation. Because they knew through meditation only we can get the power. And with that power, with that knowledge, we can help the society. So we have to imagine the background when things are happening like this. When they were there, why that Naimisharanya was so pure? Because that is the place where another great sage was there. And a story again, the demons, the bad type of people, they were attacking the good people, the devatas, and they could not fight with them. So what to do? Then the Brahma said, you better go and request the one said, Dadichi. If he gives his body, from that only you can prepare with the bones, you can prepare a terrible, powerful weapon that Indra is using. By that only you can save yourself, otherwise not. So Dadichi was living over there. When they approached Dadichi said, if my life can save so many thousand people, okay, no problem. But I have a request. Before death, I want to visit all the holy places. But the gods, they wanted immediately. Because they are all waiting over there, we need the weapon right now. Now, if you start visiting all the holy places all over the India, it will take years. Then they brought all those holy places over there. That's why the Naimisharanya became so holy. Another explanation is Animisha. Animisha means one who never blinks. That is the Vishnu. And that's why the Animisha, that Vishnu Bhagavan has been depicted as Jagannath Mahaprabhu. That Jagannath that you see, there is big eyes but no eyelids. That is Animisha, constantly observing, constantly looking at us. And that is Shakshi. This is called Animisha. And one day after performing all the rituals, they were meditation pujas, they were taking little rest. Suddenly they heard someone is singing a beautiful song, very melodious, very attractive. So all they got up and then wanted to see who is singing. They met Ugra Srava. Ugra Srava. He's a Sutta. Sutta is a title, those who could memorize the whole story. See, my notebook, such a big one. I'm going on writing, otherwise I won't be able to remember. Even the name Ugra Srava I will forget. So, that's why. But those who could really memorize the whole thing, they were given the title Sutta. So, Ugra Srava was a Sutta. Who gave the title? Vyasa, Vyasadeva. He trained him. But he was a low-born person, Ugra Srava. And his father was Lo Maharsha. But Lo Maharsha was also a very, very photogenic memory, as they call. The both of them, father and the son. So they were taught. Ugra Srava, he was having a very intellect, and he heard the whole story from the Shukadeva, the son of the Veda Vyasa. Shuka was explaining it to this king, Parikshita. Why? Parikshita, in the meantime, he was the only person, should have been careful. Instead, the Kshatriya, always that the ego comes, I am the king, I have the power. He went for hunting and he became thirsty. Inside the jungle, there were people who used to meditate quietly. Small, small huts were there. So he went to a hut, and one Brahmana, as one Rishi, was meditating. He said, hey, I'm thirsty, bring a little water. He was meditating, he didn't listen. Otherwise he would have brought. Now the king was very thirsty and angry. He told, oh, you are meditating in this way? And he was proud that I am the son of Arjuna and the descendant of the Pandavas. So he took a dead snake and put that on the neck of that Rishi who was meditating to insult him. So you are dead like a snake. So like that, he left. His young boy came. Though he was very young, but he had the spiritual power, tremendous spiritual power. He came and saw the father is sitting over there. Father was not aware that the dead snake is hanging. He was meditating. But the son came, saw, and without consulting with the father, immediately said, this snake again will get back the life and go and bite the person who has put it on the person of my father. That is the great curse. And that snake was a terrible snake. Immediately he got back the life and started searching for this king. News came back to the king, and he was afraid. There was not many days were left. In the meantime, Shuka, he came. Then he asked, sir, what one person should do when the date is approaching and I am counting my days? I know within 7 days I will die. What I should do now? Then the Shuka was narrating him the life of Krishna. Listen to it. Concentrate on that, and you will get the liberation. Don't think about whatever has happened. You can stop it. So that is the whole scenario, and in that condition, Ugra Srava was there. He heard the whole thing, remembered it. He became full of joy. Came to Naimisharanya. He was singing all alone. These Rishis found him and told, you sit over here, and gave him the food and drink. And with great respect, Rishis, they were highly respected people, knowledgeable people. They gave so much of respect to the Sutta. Why? He was also very, very learned. Afterwards we'll come, and they said, the Rishis are praising him. Taya kalu puranani itihashani chanaga. You are completely pure soul. Why? You know all the scriptures, Purana, and the Itihashas. Can you please, and also Dharma Shastra. Please tell us this thing. Now they are asking the question. Give me another 2-3 minutes. What are the questions? Tell us those qualities which are essential for human being to attain liberation. Those qualities which are essential for a human being to attain liberation. Tell us the essence of the vast and varied scriptural text. There are so many texts there. It's not possible for one person to study the whole thing. Can you please tell us the essence? Third, why and for what purpose the Supreme Lord took birth as son of Vasudeva and his wife Devaki? Fourth, how he, the God, descended as incarnation. Please narrate that. Fifth, what are his noble deeds performed in his spatial manifestation as the Kalas, that means as a Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, for the purpose of creation, preservation and dissolution. So these are the 5 questions. Along with that, they added one. The last 6th one. What is that? They said, from where did Dharma, the spirituality, gain support? This is the, we can say, 6 questions of the Rishis to the Shuka. And the Sutta, that Ugrasrabha. Now, next Sunday, we will try to give the answers, but the vast stories. From there, we have to choose who to pick up, and then we can say, the problem is directly that, you see that the nature of the Indians, if you ask, what is your name? And instead of telling the name, he will say, I am from India, and that is that province, and what is your name? But he will go back to the whole history. That is the system of the Indian. Here also you will find, instead of telling what are the essential things that a person should have to get the liberation, he will say the whole history. But we have to get from there the salient points, the main point. Thank you for coming. Let us chant this sloka, the last sloka, and then we will conclude. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudramaruta Stunnanti Divyaistabai Veda Sangha Padakrama Upanishadai Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogina Yasyantam Nabidu Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namah. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Friends, you all know that we publish the Is In, usually the 3rd of